Hammered Coupe and Solaire together on the same team. You've probably already heard it. It's been all over the miniature action sporting news. Hammered Coupe has been drafted onto the Crimson Crashers team, creating a team that some are saying cannot be defeated. Hi everybody, welcome to the Junkyard Joust. I'm Aaron Yonda, and these are your 5 teams. There's some familiar names here and one completely new team. Let's head into the garage and see what we've got. The DEADMAXX made it all the way to 5th place in the finals of Season 1, and they are back to try again after all this time. The Combustion Kings are back with some big engines and some big agility this season, with some flashy looking vehicles. Crimson Crashers made it to number 4 in the finals last season, and they are back with an all new lineup except for Solaire. We've seen Joust and Jalopies around for a while, and they are back with a large batch of Jalopies this season. Metal Machines are a brand new team of fairly low center of gravity vehicles, and it should be interesting to see how they do. Let's head out to the Junkyard and Joust. First up, it's going to be Hollowback for the Combustion Kings, sponsored by Chome. The randomized running order is up. In regular Junkyard Joust, the teams get to decide which cars they want to send down win. And as usual, sideways or upside down at the end of the round, and you're out. Up now for the DEADMAXX, it's Double Demon, sponsored by the Miskatonic Automotive Club. Double Demon tosses Hollowback off the track. We haven't seen Double Demon since back in Season 1 when it was on the Speed Demon team, which did all right in that season. New car for the Crashers, Bisector, 62 grams, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Bisector bisects Double Demon, and Double Demon, unbelievable. That car very difficult to turn upside down and get it to stay there. It gets stuck on the track, and if it doesn't get turned over, it's out. Rough start for the DEADMAXX. Here comes a big old 70s car, the 73 Cadillac sedan for the Joust and Jalopy, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Cadillac doesn't exactly zoom down the track, just gently floats into place, but it was enough of an impact that it apparently buckled Bisector. Looks like this car might have a secret ability, able to absorb the impact of cars behind it by bending. Interesting. Nitro Rider's up for the Metal Machine, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Light tap from Nitro Rider, and Nitro Rider is locked in.
What am I doing here?
The toughest baby in miniature action sports, Baby Cookie is going to be riding in Track Tune today, sponsored by Jedi. Cookie flies out of Track Tune and takes Nitro Rider with her, pushes Nitro Rider off to the side. Tough break for the Metal Machines, losing their first car on the track. Silver Dragon's had an illustrious career in Junkyard Joust, back now for the DEADMAXX, sponsored by Woeful Fiber Art. Silver Dragon flips Track Tune up in the air over towards the crates. Track Tune, great recovery, and now Silver Dragon is flipped over sideways. Trust me, Silver Dragon will not stay like that. Interesting choice for the Crashers, Iron Man, a motorcycle, sponsored by Chemical Knight. Iron Man tosses Silver Dragon off the track. Silver Dragon, of course, making a great recovery, and that motorcycle just driving over everything in its way with those big wheels and landing flawlessly. Silver Dragon up to its old antics. Jalopies are sending down the 75 Cadillac Eldorado, sponsored by Shauna Patrick Hogan. Eldorado slides off the back of its own teammate, tries to get off the track, not do any damage to his friend, and manages to settle on top of Baby Cookie. Cookie holding the car up with her teeth, it looks like. Typhoon, sponsored by Ellis Wurtenberger. Typhoon slams into the line of cars, can't get much happening. Cadillac sedan starting to slide under Bisector. Now up for the Kings, it's Bifocal, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Bifocal slams into the line, Bisector is starting to move. Is it gonna flip? Oh, and look at that. Nitro Rider almost manages to recover. Up for the DEADMAXX, it's Radical Racer, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Radical races into the line, cannot get any undercutting going, and manages to not do a whole lot, really. The one, the only, the legend, Hammered Coupe, sponsored by Judy Collins. Hammered Coupe gets under 2.5 cars. Radical Racer thrown upside down. Bifocal not saying goodbye yet. And Typhoon trying to hang on. Bisector is nearly over. The 57 Ford Fairlane, sponsored by Chris and Cat's Casa de Chaos. The fair lane plows into Hammered Coupe, and Hammered Coupe tosses Typhoon up in the air. Typhoon makes a deft landing and rights its own teammate. Nitro Rider is back upright again. Wow, what a turnaround for the Metal Machines. That's some teamwork right there. Speaking of the Metal Machines, White Fang, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hanger. White Fang hits the line and it stays solid. Hammered Coupe all the way up at the front now. Here's a cool looking car, See You Later, sponsored by Beak's Busted Barn Finds. See You Later gently removes White Fang from the track. White Fang makes a nice recovery. And we've got a couple jalopies piled up in the front of the line. Up next for Bite Marks, Perfect Speed, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Perfect Speed manages to knock that sedan over and it tries to flip. It looks like it might make it. Right now it looks kind of iffy, but it might count as right side up. We'll see if anything adjusts it as we go. Low slung vehicle here, Saber for the Crashers, sponsored by Sicken. Saber gets under Perfect. Perfect slides off the side. Looks like Perfect is probably right side up. Here comes another big one for the Jalopies, the 60 Chrysler 300F, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. The Chrysler launches off the back of Saber's wheels. Look at it spin, and then it lands upside down. Wow, I did not expect Saber to act as sort of a ramp, and that Chrysler is paying the price. Knocked his own teammate upside down at the same time. The heaviest car on Metal Machines, Buffalo, 32 grams, sponsored by Hasty Productions. Buffalo jostles for place, knocks See You Later a little bit off the track, moves Saber up into the back of Hammered Coupe. Buffalo's gonna take a hit from RD09, sponsored by Farty Marty. RD09 tosses Buffalo off the track upside down. Meanwhile, Saber pushes the Ford Fairlane off the track sideways, and that could be another elimination for the Jalopies. Cargoyle, more like Cowgoyle, sponsored by Emo Dingo. This car used to be on the Speed Demons back in Season 1. Nice hit there. RD09, though, making a very adept recovery, hits the crates and spins on those blades in the back, manages to make it and survive. And the Crimson Crashers have been great at clearing the track. There are two of them left down at the bottom, and now Solaire the Assassin is going to hit them. Sponsored by Brendan Walsh. Solaire takes Cargoyle down, hits Saber. Saber pops off the track to safety. Solaire, however, not so safe, flipping upside down with its own force. The velocity taking Solaire out on the back of its brand new teammate, Hammered Coupe. Now the Cadillac Coupe de Ville is going to hit Solaire, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. The Coupe de Ville pushes into Solaire, but Solaire cannot get upright again. I have the feeling that Solaire is going to be a little miffed at Hammered Coupe at the end of this match. Flair now, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Flair is too light to do anything to the Coupe de Ville, and yet again Solaire slides backwards. And that was the final car of round 1. Looks like there were 9 eliminations in this round. Before we take a look at the aftermath, we've got a close call with the Ford Fairlane. Evil Weevil's gonna get out the measuring tool, and it does look like the Ford Fairlane is beyond that 45-degree angle. It's gonna be eliminated. The Combustion Kings are coming out of round 1 feeling really good right now. No eliminations for them. Bite Marks down to 1. Crimson only lost 1, although it was Solaire. Joust and Jalopies lost 3, and Metal Machines only lost 1. The crew of the Star Trek Enterprise has been doing some farming, and they think they figured out a better way to haul these bales off to the barn with their shuttle. I hope it works. Here we go, round 2. That was an eventful first round. We're starting out with Hollaback again for the Kings. They had a great first round. Hopefully they can avoid the curse that sometimes plagues these teams after they have 5 left in round 1 and be one of the 3 teams that move on. Metal Machines are sending Flair down first this time. Flair slams into Hollaback. Hollaback makes a very nice recovery, goes up on the front and just pivots off the track. Nice work. Iron Man for the Crashers. Iron Man makes a hit on the back of Flair and then just drives right off the track. Wow, that is impressive. Tough to eliminate a vehicle when it's not on the track anymore. 75 Cadillac Eldorado. The Cadillac sends Flair twisting and turning off the track, but look at the recovery by Flair. A little double tap, then Flair skids across Hollowback and just flips right over. Not looking good for the bite marks, but Silver Dragon is still in the game. Silver Dragon slots in behind the Eldorado. Would have been better to get off the track, but somehow gets stuck on the back of the Cadillac. Track Tune and its rider are ready for another run. Cookie pops up and goes over, and the same happens to Silver Dragon. Pops up on the back of the Eldorado, hovers, and then falls sideways. That could be it for the bite marks. Cookie looks like she's having fun. Silver Dragon, not so much. White Fang. White Fang knocks Track Tune on the top of the Eldorado. Track Tune does some bouncing and flips right over. Very deft recovery. And here comes Hammered Coupe for the Crashers. Hammered Coupe goes under all the cars on the track. White Fang does not manage to recover. The Eldorado, however, heavy enough to survive that hit, and I suspect it's not quite over for White Fang yet. We'll see. Cadillac Coupe DeVille. The Cadillac Coupe pushes into Hammered Coupe, pushes Coupe down to the end of the track. Eldorado looks safe to me. Bifocal. Bifocal tries to push the Coupe DeVille off the back of Hammered Coupe. Can't quite do it, it's too big of a vehicle, but it's on its way. Maybe Typhoon will be able to help. Typhoon powers into Bifocal, and the Coupe is sideways. And now White Fang is upside down. Now here's Saber for the Crashers. And a chain reaction causes Bifocal to go off the side of the track sideways with no chance of recovery right there with the track in the way. Good hit by Saber. See you later. See you later, trying to get some revenge, but can't quite manage it. Manages to stay on the track, however. Nice agility by Typhoon there on top of the Coupe DeVille. 3 cars left in the round. Nitro Rider's up now. Nitro Rider forces Saber over Hammered Coupe. Saber does a little bounce, but manages to keep it together. Bisector. A big push, and See You Later might be an apt name for that car right now. Nitro Rider pushed up on Hammered Coupe and definitely ready to get pushed by the next car coming down. It's going to be RD09. Nitro Rider takes off, drives over Saber. Saber pushed upside down. And what a great job by Nitro Rider, just driving off the pile and surviving, taking down Saber in the process. And it looks like we lost 6 cars in that round. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Combustion Kings had the most to lose, and they did. They lost 2, everybody else lost 1. Unfortunately for bite marks, that means they are out of this match. Joust and Jalopies are looking pretty iffy right now with only 1 survivor. Looks like they got that hay stacked into the shuttle and they're ready to take it to the barn. I don't think Jordy can see right now. I don't know how he's going to find the barn, but good luck, guys. Here we go, round 3. Crimson starting us off with Iron Man. This motorcycle's looked pretty impressive so far. Imagine that thing going off the back of Hammered Coupe. Would have no problem surviving. I think Crimson has a plan this season. Hollowback's up now. It just depends on whether anyone's got an answer to Crimson's plan. We've seen a lot of good teams so far. I suspect there's going to be a lot more. Hollowback forces Iron Man off the track. As usual, Iron Man got perfect balance. Another recovery. Flair. Flair hits Hollowback, goes curbside. That could be dangerous, but we also know that Flair is good at recovering. He's going to take a big hit from the 75 Cadillac Eldorado. The Cadillac knocks Hollowback all the way off the track, actually knocks Flair in line, and nice recovery there by Hollowback. That's going to ensure that the Kings are okay this round. Jalopies could be in trouble. Hammered Coupe coming down. The Coupe gets under the Cadillac, and did you see that? That huge car bounces, flips over, and makes an astounding recovery. Very unlikely that that car should have survived a hit from Hammered Coupe, but somehow it did. Track Tune.
Them scripts didn't know what hit them.
Track Tune does not go off the back of Hammered Coupe. Cookie tumbles out onto the track. Oh no, we've got a baby on the track again. I tell you what though, Cookie can take a hit. Flair maybe not so much on this round. Flair sideways now. Nitro Rider. Nitro Rider careens into Baby Cookie and Track Tune and takes them both off the track. Unfortunately for Track Tune, cannot make a recovery this time. No more trips down the track this match for Cookie.
What?
Bisector. Bisector gets rebuffed by the line of cars. Nitro Rider goes curbside, but the front end low enough to not go off the back of Hammered Coupe. RDO9. RDO9 slams the line, and Nitro Rider forced off. Nice recovery there. And because of that bent angle of Bisector, it's managing to wedge itself into the track pretty well. That might prevent it from going off the back of Hammered Coupe. Typhoon. The final car of the round flips RDO9 over, and that's gonna be an oof for the Combustion Kings. It looks like maybe that curse isn't over yet, because they're gonna lose 2 in this round. Looks like we lost 3 cars total. And yeah, looking at the aftermath, it looks like 2 of them were the Combustion Kings. Joust and Jalape's managed to stay alive, and Metal Machines lost 1. Crimson did not lose a car. Picard overseeing the shuttle taking off with all the hay. I just can't imagine why this is easier than using a wagon, but I assume the captain of a starship would know what he's doing in this situation. We're straight into round 4 with Crimson Crashers way out ahead with 3 cars in this match, and they are looking pretty good right now as Iron Man just goes right off the track, not even gonna bother participating in this round, running off, surviving. Wow. Metal Machine's still doing all right here. Typhoon. Typhoon fills up the vacancies provided by Iron Man and backs down the track a little bit. Last car for the Combustion Kings. Can they avoid the curse? Hollowback lines up in the track, nice and straight, locked in. Here comes a big hit from an improbable survivor, 75 Cadillac Eldorado. The Eldorado gets under Hollowback, and Hollowback is definitely in peril right here, but so is everyone, because here comes the Coupe. Hammered Coupe undercuts the Cadillac, and the Cadillac makes an incredible recovery again, but Hollowback not so much. Combustion King's final car, if it doesn't get back upright again, this match is gonna be over. Nitro Rider. Another possibility for Combustion Kings here is if Metal Machines get eliminated as Nitro Rider knocks his own teammate off and goes sideways. Doesn't look like Typhoon is in any danger though, so that route is probably closed. Final chance for the Combustion Kings, Bisector. Bisector slams into Nitro Rider, pushes it up into the safety area. Nitro Rider does not make a recovery, and this match is over. Crimson devastating the competition and doing it mostly without Solaire. Joust and Jalape's hang on with their one key vehicle, and Metal Machines also hang on. Combustion Kings look promising, but they are out. They'll have to go back to the drawing board with that team. Congrats to the winners, the Crimson Crashers, Joust and Jalape's, and the Metal Machines are going to move on to the main event.
Excellent.
And Picard and Cookie taking a little break. And, that does not bode well. Well, folks, there you have it. Farming not as easy as you might think. Well, we'll have to make sure we get that cleaned up before next week's match. Thanks for stopping by the Junkyard. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. And if you'd like to support this show and help me keep creating it, go to patreon.com/junkyardjoust. Thanks to all my patrons who make this show possible. See you next time, everybody. Cheers.